And the ball is still in play. So second time, he's going to injure people. I don't think that when I was under the Bayunga.
Testing microphone 1 2.
Testing 1 2 testing. Testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2.
Today, remember today whoever wins the first set loses. So
Testing.
to many of the volleyball fans, this is one of the fixtures that we have all been waiting for, especially when it rings the bell of relegation battle. This is a game between Sky Volleyball Club against Police Volleyball Club. Of course, coming to this game, both teams really are interested, of course, in collecting maximum points. And of course, Police coming from 2 consecutive defeats in the previous weekends, and of course Sky as well falling short of victory. Welcome everyone, good evening to all of you. My name is Moses, I'll be the commentator for today, and of course I'll be joined by my colleague, of course Shamira. She's always with us anytime, anywhere. We are coming to you live from NSAMBYA, of course the home of Sporters Volleyball Club and the home of Classic Volleyball. Sky are on the lead in this first set, 10 points to 3 for Police, and of course Police is quick to call the first time out. And of course the weather, the climate, and of course the sun is here shining, and the game has of course started. Of course, as we return from that first time out called by Police, of course, looking at the two sides, Sky Volleyball Club today has, of course, housed almost all of their players. If I'm not very certain, they are all here, including the return, of course, of the veteran Philip Wandera, playing in the middle position, but of course he starts from out. Notably, of course, we see Ivan starting in the setting position. Brighton is in the opposite role. Sam Nkata and Kevin are receiving, and then Manut will be passing in the middle with Ashraf, of course. And for Police, David Say, of course, is playing the opposite. He's diagonal to Odong Hassan. Johnny Opolot is playing receive attacking with, of course, Herbert. Before that, we saw Eli in the warm-up. And of course, you as well see Brian. He reached late, but he's already dressed up and he warmed a bit. Igune Isaac will be in the middle with Masaba. Of course, we all know him as Escobar. Things really not starting quite well for Police as they are trailing by 6 points. A lead that Sky Volleyball Club had their own set when the set had just begun. And of course, we continue with the gap, of course, widening now. Kevin is at the service line.
But we agree that Kevin has really made a big difference on the Sky team this second round. Of course, he was their player, but he's just gotten back to play for them this second round because he wasn't present for the first round. I feel that we are going to see a very big difference in the play of Sky, and we could see them even pushing themselves out of the relegation battle.
Yeah, and of course, talking about relegation, we are seeing these two teams really struggling, especially in the first round. They really had to struggle for points, and of course, not forgetting Prisons Volleyball Club, who have really continued to struggle. As we of course started the second round as well, they lost their games already. And of course, Sky now housing Kevin there. It's a very big motivation for most of the players on that court. And of course, you could see today almost everyone is around. Even Aaron Wanjala is there. He's on the bench. For Police, these are the usual faces we see, and it will be interesting to see how this game is really going to end at the end of it all.
Yes, and Igune there in the service box, one of the best servers for the Police side. Ivan going to Kevin on the pipe, and he's going to continue to go to him several times. We saw him doing that even when they were playing against Sporters So he's going to really go to Kevin a lot, because we've said he's a big addition and he's an aggressive attacker. Manut on the service. Hassan sets up Escobar in the middle, and that is a dump. Quick and neat point for Police.
14-7. Of course, Sky looking very comfortable in the lead. And today the coach for Sky, of course, used to play for them a couple of seasons back. Is of course Norobadi. Of course, it's called Dennis. He's also from Kenya. He just returned to the country to just tour. But of course, the love he has for Sky has always been there, and that's why we see him today trying to take charge of this side here at Sky Volleyball Club.
Yes, but that's a good swing from Police side to continue to push themselves and side out, and see how to be able to catch up. But of course, Sky having a very big lead. Sam high set. Oh, shut down by Hassan on that swing. I think he really tried to look so much for the court, and unfortunately he just lands in the block. And that Sky is calling their first time out of this set. I think they want to maintain that lead as much as possible.
Yeah, of course, we wouldn't want to write it off that Police can make a comeback, because a couple of games they have done so in previous games, of course. But Sky, really, as you can witness, Dennis there, the coach, calling a timeout. I think he wants to remind the players that we are in the lead and there's no taking chances. But of course, now the lead is getting to be cut. At some point, it was a 7-point lead. Now it is getting really cut. And Sky has to really not take chances. From the backward line, of course, comes Brighton, and Sky is quick to break. And now it's just a 5-point lead. Hassan going to Johnny, off the hands of Brighton and Ashraf. And that's a score for Team Police, who are now just in need of 4 points to catch up with the Sky Volleyball Club. Of course, very many of you have already logged in and you've already joined us. Thank you very much, and always keep it here. Sporters Volleyball Club, of course, the media page and the #1 broadcaster of volleyball action here in Uganda, and of course, Uganda Volleyball Federation in particular. And now, of course, as I mentioned, we can't write off Police because now they are just within 3 points to catch up with Sky. And Sky has to do something very quick.
And that was all the way from 7. Another error from Sky, and this time from Sam there. And now Police just within 2 points to catch up. Yeah, he didn't actually send that ball over. So with Sky, with Police having that service, and we can see Escobar is also in line to go in for service, one of the best servers for Police as well. It means they could have the advantage, but that is a service error from Hassan. Still, their gap has really significantly reduced.
And of course, the momentum that the Police players are having now, they are really not looking so far because the lead is just 3 points. And of course, you can see how they are trying to motivate each other. Johnny swings, but it goes off. And of course, the lead is again continuing to open. 4 points again as we speak.
are grooming very well.
Oh, Opelot John Paul just going so high up on that ball. Anyway, chance for Police. What a swing from Escobar through the middle. I think Ashraf was waiting for a steal ball there, but unfortunately, does it? You can see he had actually moved to block on the outside.
And I think that is very good court awareness by Hassan there. I think he was able to read that Ashraf was moving to join. Of course, Kevin there to try and stop Johnny. And the best server in this particular side of Police, that is Escobar. Of course, errors in his first attempt for service there. Hassan goes for Polot. Again, he goes to the line, and Ashraf, he just looks at that ball. And of course, the body language there can only tell you that he literally thought the ball was off court, but smart play by Johnny Opolot.
Yes, you can see Kevin seemed almost late on that block, and he left that little gap which John Paul takes advantage of. But 3 consecutive service errors from Police side, and just continuing to push Sky on and on, because in the past 3 points, Sky has just gotten 3 points from the Police side. It's a good service from Brighton. It's going to be a free ball, and the setter will go to Ivan. It's a little tight, but that forces a net touch from a Police side, and either way, Sky just takes that point. And now Police will be calling a timeout.
And of course, I think at some point we're all convinced that it's going to be really a tight set for, of course, Police, because the way Sky started this game with that 4-point lead, they have maintained it, not, of course, to the expectation maybe of their coach, but the lead is really again back 5 points now as we head, of course, to the latter stages of this particular set here. And we already mentioned about Ivan, of course, going to Kevin there. You could see he's trying to really force most of the balls to him. Of course, errors there from the net coming from the Police players. Of course, we have shout-outs, of course, already from our comment section. Dio Messi in the high, of course, I see you, my guy. How are you? How is Chigali? Messi is a player with the Kepler. He's a setter. And, of course, he's always joining us whenever he has the time. We thank you, Messi, always available. Sky still continuing with that lead, of course, 22-15, and we are going to see the first substitution coming in from Police. Herbert is off, and Ellie is going to be introduced into the game.
And I think after this set, we could see more of Ellie and Brian coming in later on, because those are some of the most crucial players for Police, and to see them starting on the outside for this first set, it's a wonder. But I think we could see them in the coming sets proving to be more effective for the team, because they are both aggressive players, and I think Police needs that person right now. But that is a beautiful ace service from Brighton. And then, of course, now Sky will be looking for 2 points. They are just really loving this first set.
Yeah. They are really taking full control of this first set right from the onset. And you can see the happiness and celebration from these players of Sky when that ball goes onto the ground. Of course, Brighton is usually a person who serves in position 1, but he has really gotten that S in position 5. And of course, smart play from Ellie just to get that point for Sky, for Police rather. to now tally them to 16 points against 23. Kevin there quite flat-footed, couldn't really reach for that ball, and that's an attack error from Kevin again. And Dennis, of course, the coach is going to call the timeouts, and this will be their second timeout in this first set. 23 for Sky and 17 for Police. Of course, you can see some of the players, of course, are there. We see Kedi Deogratias, of course, there is one of the middle players. He has not been around, of course, not training, but you can see he's always there to support his teammates. And Wandera Philip as well, a veteran middle player there. Wandawa rather, is of course there also for Sky. Today, full house Sky it is. Substitution, of course, for Sky, Aaron is brought on, and of course we have just seen Sam Nkata go off, and a big block from Gune Isaac with Hassan combining, and they shut down Kevin, one of the most crucial and important players for Sky right now in this round 2 of action.
Yes, but really Police just trying to close in on Sky. Sky just looking for 2 points, and you know it gets very difficult in such moments for when you have a big lead and you feel like your opponent is really just trying to close in, and you have nothing is working in that moment. Let's see, can Brighton finish it? No.
Free ball now goes to Police side. Eli to the line, he goes. That's a good swing from him. Of course, he knows the setter is unblocking the line, and he just chose to go straight. And Brighton, of course, is not able to retrieve that ball. And Police have now hit the 19th point mark.
But I think Eli is one of those. He has that quality that maybe Police has just been looking for, because you can see he knows where he should be going to attack. But also we have to credit David Say for what a good server he is. But this time Sky able to get that side out with Manut getting that block touch.
Of course, Manut is a tall player, and the ball he hits is kind of adjusted. You could see that he was able to get it, that advantage. But of course, Eli tried to put a stop to that, but the libero was moving in. He could not really go back to play that ball. So set points, of course, for Sky and Police at 19.
Oh, net touch from Sky, and they are just unable to seal off this set. And this is where the game gets interesting. We've seen moments where a team just closes in at such a point, but would like to see if Sky can actually really just close it down.
Yeah, of course, that was a defense strategy by Coach Dennis to bring in Martin to try to block for Ivan. But of course, through the backcourt line there goes Kevin, and just like that, set number 1 comfortably won by Sky Volleyball Club.
Yes, but you can see the setter gives Kevin balls on the backcourt, like those pipes coming in from him, but then we've not seen him as effective on the front court. So is it because of the sets on the front court, or maybe he's just more effective on the back court?
I think for Kevin, he's really having enough time, enough space when he goes for that backcourt attack. Even in his days in OBB, most of the balls will really be from the backcourt, and the scoring rate from the backcourt was always higher than when he's on front court. And you can see Ivan every time trying to look for him there with those backcourt sets.
Yes, but Sky has just taken away that first set, and like we mentioned, we'll be looking forward to see the second set. I'm just interested in the lineup for the police side to see if they'll be making any changes and push themselves to maybe take the second set.
Because looking at the stats, police quite had an advantage in terms of attacks. They had one more than Sky. They had 2 blocks against 1 just for Sky there. S's, of course, Sky had 2. Of course, we saw Brighton come off with 1, and also Kelvin getting off with 1. And look at the error margin there with, of course, police having 12 and just Sky with 7. But of course, we are going to wait and see how police is going to come back. Definitely, there should be some changes coming from their end. And for Sky, I think for Coach Dennis, of course, he just needs to push the boys and maintain how they really started this first set. Of course, we shall wait and see how we shall be back. Set number 2 is on, and police is quick to draw the first blood in terms of scoring. And of course, Johnny Opolot in the service line. We have only just seen a change for Herbert, and Ellie is starting this particular set. And for Sky, of course, everything is just how it started. In Qatar there in reception with Kevin, and the rest is the same. And of course, off the hands of the blockers, Ellie there together, of course, with Masawa, are not able to shut down Brighton. And that's a point for Sky. 1-1. Hassan. Free ball, Sky now, Brighton off the swing, and he goes wide, but of course the ref is quick to call for a net touch there from the blockers of police, Eli and Masaba. Hassan goes for Eli. To the line he goes, but it looked quite off to me here. But of course, Male, the first ref, is quick to point on, and that point goes the police volleyball club side's way. Of course, Alan Abak, you're always joining us online. You're appreciating the team for the streams. We thank you very much always for logging in and giving us your thoughtful comments. Of course, one of the best players so far who have really seen this game and played it to the level of now just joining us and giving us his mind. Always is giving us advice and encouraging most of the players. Alan Abak, thank you very much always for joining us. Sam Kata is brought down by Escobar and Eli. Brighton brought down by Davids and Masaba again. Police, of course, is starting this particular set on a high, and post confirmation of the previous point we just witnessed going to the side of Police is the ball literally lands on the line, and I think that was a very good call from the ref there, Male. And reception errors now coming from Kevin. Of course, to pass that ball, he needs an arc, based on the fact that their setter is not very tall. And now you can see that error from Kevin now takes Police to within 3 points on the lead. Fribo was gifted to Police, and Escobar couldn't do much to add the tally for the team in of course blue and white Police, and that was a freebie, but he tries to go hard and attack, but it just goes to the net there, and you could see from his reaction that was unexpected. Sam Nkata with that service error for Sky, and Police now are leading with 3 points. Escobar, Masaba, of course, one of the key servers, and of course the best servers we have so far in this Police side, with literally few errors in service. He sets up David, who tries to go and dumps, but of course Ashraf decides to do the cover and blocking as well.
A big ball like that, what if it was a marble?
Yeah, I think Ashraf should have just maintained the position he was when he was blocking, and Brighton was really there to pick that ball, but because of the interruption from Ashraf, that point goes to Police. Free ball now goes to Sky's way. Ivan sets up Kevin.
That service coming in from Ashraf. Oh, down the line. What a hit from Eli. But that has gone out. He didn't manage to get the line on that hit, unfortunately. But I still feel that aggressiveness that maybe Police is really, really looking for. Hassan. David say, oh, another error. Hit error from Police side, just pushing Sky to almost just close that gap and catch up. Substitution coming in for Sky, for Police, sorry, and we are going to see Bulgaria getting on to that court for David save.
And of course, you could just hear the screams from the fans. I think he's going to be maybe one of the fans' favorites for today, because the reaction from the fans there when he was walking down to the substitution line there, they were really happy and excited to see him. But of course, that attack from Igune off the hands of Manut there is going to add to the tally of Police to within 2 points of the lead, which was before, of course, 4 points. Picked well by Nkata. Manut retrieved by, of course, Eli is going to take it through. Goes to Kevin. Ivan setting up Kevin to the line. Goes off the hands of Bulgaria.
Yes, he manages to really get a block touch and just get that point. And you can see he's really just going very, very high and being extremely aggressive when he's even in the movement. You can see just wants to kill that ball.
Follow.
This time, John Paul getting that hit. Oh. And Igune just waiting for that overpass, sending it back hard on the Sky side. Bulgaria going in for service, his first service of the game. Service. Ivan. Oh, that is an error.
That is going to be a carry called on Ivan, of course, by Senior Male there, the first ref. And we could all see how he went to set that ball. And Police now are within 3 points from the lead. Bulgaria doing the serving. Of course, Kevin.
He just takes advantage of that one block from Hassan, the setter. Just a quick cross-court play from him to get that point.
I think that was a very good pick from, of course, Nkata. This is Kevin. Jump service, but that's an error from him. And of course, Police continue with the 3-point lead. And we have, of course, the violencers there on our comment section. Swamp Volleyball, Oye, Isaac Ogusul, you're saying thank you, Opiris. Isaac Ogusul, of course, is the #1 libero for Team UCU Dubs, who by they have a game tomorrow. They'll be up against KCCA. That game will be played in Lugogo, and of course, you don't need to miss that one because it's going to be a big one. Before, of course, we go to witness KVC taking on Nemo Stars. Nkata Sam going and leaping high, and he was able to go past that block of Hassan to the line, and Bulgaria just not really in position to play that ball.
Wow.
Johnny Opolot squeezing through the line with, of course, being aware that Ivan is the one blocking there. Of course, the libero there is Ouma is struggling really to pass that ball to the setter Hassan, and of course you could really see that John was going to get 2 or 3 blockers, but he was able to go through that side of Ivan. Of course, the setter there for Sky.
A good service from John Paul, just pushing Sky to error, just putting some pressure on them, and Sam just sends that ball out as he tries to send a free ball. Substitution, of course, for Sky. It's a very surprising substitution. It is Kevin going off, and we've mentioned that he's very effective on the backcourt, but we've seen the coach just substituting him off while he's on the backcourt.
Yeah. And we want to see really who is one of the main attackers and one of the main targets, of course, for Ivan, the setter there for Sky. They want to see how they are going to really play in this particular set. Eli, big swing and off the hands of Ashraf, and Brighton Police are still maintaining the 3-point lead. And I think this is working for them because the Sky is starting to really struggle. And you can see Kevin has already been taken off.
Service
Hassan.
from Hassan. Beautiful service, but the setter will go to Samuel Nkata, but he doesn't get any hands there. I think ball just deflects on the net and it goes out.
Yeah, many, of course, such errors you don't really expect. And you can see now another substitution for Sky. Martin is going to come on for Samuel Nkata. And just like that, fans are quick to react and they're happy to see, of course, Martin come on court. He's a good player as well. And Hassan pulls off an S, and guess who he serves? He goes direct to Aaron, and that's a timeout for Sky. Police leading with 5 points. Very good play from, of course, Team Police, and they should be really happy with what they have displayed so far in this second set. And for Sky, of course, talking points for the coach. You could see him there trying to direct Ashraf in terms of blocking. Coach Dennis there, Norobadi. And the talks, of course, continue for both sides. Even Police, they really have talking points here. And as we return from the timeout there, Sky are going to dig really deeper to come back in this set here, because Police is pumped and ready to really go an extra mile to see that they get a set, especially this very one they are leading. Aaron, nicely picked. Ivan goes to Ashraf, and that ball doesn't go through. Things are not going very well for Sky. Police now 6 points on the lead. Very tight set for Ivan there. He was really not getting enough room and space to provide that good set for, of course, Ashraf. And now Sky are going to make their third substitution. And of course we see now 2K is quite a young setter. He's going to be introduced in position of Ivan. And 2K goes for Brighton off the hands of Bulgaria. And that's a very good score for Sky. This is Martin. Good service. Picked by Eli. Hassan goes for Bulgaria. Swings, and no one is in that position to play that ball back. And of course you can see the fans are rallying behind their favorite, of course, Bulgaria there. So off goes Ouma, the libero, and back comes Igune Aiza for Team Police, who are leading by, of course, 6 points. And here is their best server, Escobar Masaba. He goes for Martin. Nicely picked. Brighton is very wise to use the hands of Eli and gives, of course, Sky that breathing space for now, because, of course, that's a very good score for them. 13-18. This is Ashraf in the service line, of course, for Team Sky. But look at this. A substitution has been made by Sky, and Wandawa Philip, as we all call him, Philo, has been introduced, one of the veteran players for this particular side of Sky, with quite a lot of experience, of course. And he's quick to do one of the blocks there, but the free ball is now going to come their way. And the ref is quick to call that those were 4 touches. And of course, the difference Philo is now making is starting to really show with that block he has just, of course, given out. Omar Hassan goes back. Eli with a wide swing, too tight for him. And of course, Police is just starting to lose concentration here, and that's not quite a very comfortable set for Eli. And Police have called in a timeout to try to correct their errors there and maybe have some talking points You can see the players, they are really looking at, of course, the scoreboard. 3 points now. They are just on the lead with that range of 3 points. And for Sky, they really need to pick up and try to chase down this lead. Of course, for Police, they need to keep the lead and go ahead to win, of course, this second set. Ashraf gets back to Eli. Hassan with the set. It goes again for Eli, and of course off the hands of Aaron Wanjala. 19 points for Poli and 15 Sky, as we hit, of course, the business end of the set. Sky, of course, leading with a set, and Police trailing now with, of course, the lead they have in this second set. Eli, jump service, but it goes wide, and that is an error from him. And Sky still are chasing a 3-point lead. Brighton, who pulled off an S in the first set, is going now to the service line, and here he is. Goes for Eli. Hassan goes wide. Smart play, of course, from Opolot. Through the line there, he knows the setter Chukei is not a good jumper and is not, of course, not going to block him, but he's quick to swing to the line. Now here is Bulgaria, fans' favorites so far. He is here at the service line for Police, who need just 5 points to win this second set. Here he goes, and that is an S from him. Nabulia Geraldine, you're rallying Sky. You're saying, let's go Sky for 2 sets ahead. But of course, we are still continuing in the second set. And of course, that is going to be a point for Police, 22-16. And Sky is going to call for a timeout. Of course, we return, and Sky have decided to just reverse the setters substitution there. Ivan is back on court, but of course stays on Wandawa, and that is a very big block from Opolot John there. Shut down Brighton from the backcourt line, and this is just going to extend Police, of course, to just within 2 points from the win, a big win in this second set. Bulgaria continues to go. He has gone to match in this time round. That's good, quite play from Wandawa, veteran there below. Philip. And of course, for Police now, they need to side out, and they set themselves for the first set point in this particular second set. Johnny to the line he goes, and Brighton is flat-footed there. He can't bring that ball back into play, and just like that, Johnny is first to secure set point for Team Police. Sky at 17, of course, trailing, really trailing there. Not quite a good display from them in this particular second set. Not like the way they started the first set with that comfortable lead. Now here is Johnny. That ball doesn't really quite cross, and That's a point for Sky. And the first, of course, set point is saved there by Team Sky. So off goes Marvin. Back comes Ashraf, the middle blocker there, of course, for Team Sky. Wandawa, Ouma, Hassan goes to Johnny. Off. He really doesn't get that angle this time around as he tries to go to the line there where Ivan is blocking from and goes off to the antenna. Just like that. And Sky are pushing Police now. Police is quick to call for a timeout, maybe to just remind themselves that they really need just 1 point to win this second set.
Yes, and we saw, of course, almost similar points in the first set when Sky was also taking the set away. But I think this game is just going to continue to get more intense from both sides.
So Sky is really trailing here in the second set, and of course the star player for them, Kevin, really being taken off. There has been no change really on their side. They have kept on really trailing, and Police have just secured themselves this second set, 25-19. So we are level in terms of sets, 1-1. Interesting to see is that how does Sky return for the third set, because the way they started the first set was really quite interesting to see the lead they started with, but now in this particular second set they have quite of struggled. And of course Kevin there, the key player for them, has struggled to pass. Now we are level at 1-1.
Yes, and just looking forward to that third set, but looking at those stats, we can see that both teams share a similar number of errors. But what I take away from here is that Police errors have just gone down by 2, and Sky errors have just increased by 3. And this time, sort of, Police just had much more attacks, and that comes with how aggressive they've been in this second set and wanting to just take it away. We've seen from Eli how hard he has been going, even John Paul. But I still expect the game to continue to be more challenging and for both sides. And I think Sky could really come back with more fire in this set because they really want this game. Police seems to be in a better place, of course, and Sky needs to give it some thought. But I think the third set is one to just be excited for because it could be more intense. But let's just wait on and see. Was the third set underway, and Sky and Police just getting that point off that big hit. Of course, both sides 1-1. And like I mentioned at the end of that third set, the second set is just going to be an intensive play out here. Hassan in that service box. Service, Kevin going for it. The setter this time going to Martin in 2. Well defended. Oh, shut down this time. Bulgaria has no way through. And we've noticed that Police players have been trying to go so much down on the line. But this time, Sky just reads that very well and fully closes on that line. As you take a look again, you can see there's basically no way through for Bulgaria.
Well, this particular third set is going to be interesting because it is game on, really. It's game on. Because you can see Kevin is back on, and so is Martin. He's starting also in this particular set. Aaron is off, and so is Iva. Is Nkata Sam, of course, also going off there. And interesting is that, of course, for Police, they have maintained their team that won the second set. But now the passing, they're really struggling, and Bulgaria is getting attack errors from all positions. Is being given the ball. And now look at the lead against Sky is starting to open up. 3 now. Police is on the chase.
Yes, and I mentioned how Police players are trying to really go down on that line, but Sky blockers have just sealed it off, and that is what is forcing Bulgaria to error. But there is a service error from Martin on this round. But Sky is really having a good start. We saw that off-system play from Kevin was a very huge hit from him. And that is the difference that he also brings to his team, that aggressive play. But Escobar in the service box, very aggressive, strategic server. Oh, but that is another error from him. He's really not been having a great evening in terms of his service.
Yeah, of course, least expectedly from such a player with a good service like Escobar. You wouldn't want him to really go to the service box, especially when you're in Police's shoes and you're chasing. You really don't expect him to go and get such a service error. And of course now the service pressure from Ashraf, he goes straight to the libero, Ouma, who is struggling to pass. The libero is failing to pass. Good pick from him, of course, Ouma. Fibo now comes to Sky's way. Ivan is going for the set. Kevin goes to Brighton, to the line, big swing and a score.
What a hit from Brighton down on that line. He knows that gap is there and he just takes it. 5-point lead for Sky in this very, very early game. The set is just starting out, but Sky's just given themselves a 5-point lead. And I think Ivan is now trying to just get all his attackers moving compared to what we saw in the earlier sets where he was just getting Kevin and then once in a while the middles. But now he's just getting all his attackers moving. And Police has been forced to call a very early timeout with that 6-point lead now from Sky.
Because this is where we were at some points in set number 1, where Sky started off high with, of course, a big margin in terms of the scores there, and it is just repeating itself in this particular third set, of which I don't want to really say that maybe Police is ready to go for set number 4 already, but we can't write it off that they can make a comeback. As I've always mentioned, anything is possible really, but for Police they really need to stabilize and try to pass that ball, because a libero like Ouma there really is struggling to pass, and so that really raises questions, of course, in the players' mind there.
Police are getting that side out immediately after that timeout. Think, of course, trying to play in the strategies.
And there goes Ellie with another service error for Team Police, following suit to what just, of course, Escobar did. Brighton now, who of course has an S to his name, is on the service line. And look at the receivers of Police. They are just two. Ellie failing to pass, and
Yes.
Manut has a freebie and a free swing. And Sky are just starting to look more comfortable, and of course extending their lead to just 7 points. A big one for Police to chase, of course.
Yes, but we saw them trying to chase in the first set and pushing themselves, even closing that gap to 2 points by the end of the set. But this time, Sky just reading really well. Oh, look at that confusion there between Manut and the setter. This time, Opolo John Paul choosing to just send over that dump and letting go of a swing. What a play from him to give his team that side out. Despite having a shorter blocker, Ivan, he chooses to just make it easy for himself to get that point.
Of course, the fans there are trying to react to, especially the movement that the coach made from the bench. They are trying to signal to the player, that is Kevin, of course, to have made that move to go and pick that ball. Ivan goes for Kevin. Is brought down, and of course a net touch is going to be called on Police.
Yes, but you can see how aggressive Kevin is going on that ball, despite having a 3-man block waiting for him. But now, of course, he will go into that service box, jump server, and he does get in quite a good service. Follow John Paul. Oh, there will be a net error from Manut on that one, but what a dig from the libero.
Ivan literally moved away from the block and left Manut there alone. So I think Manut was trying to cover up the bigger space, and he ends up netting. And of course, that is an error on him and of course onto the team. That is Sky Volleyball Club. But that was quite a good pick from the libero there, Marvin. And here is Igune Isaac on the service. Goes for Martin. Picked Ivan.
Oh, what a play.
Retrieved. Hassan goes to Johnny.
Chance for Sky. Martin, what a hit from Martin. What a play. Very, very sharp cross-court, quick attack from him. Just get that beautiful point. And this is what happens sometimes when the rally just goes on, and then with Sky leading and the fire that they're having, they just get that big chance and take a quick hit and continue to push their lead.
Of course, Police have made a significant substitution, as we just saw Escobar going off and Ezra Luswata come on.
Yes, but you can see another big swing from Martin on that overpass, just sending it back as quickly as he can, and just trying to get as many points in this game. But it's wonderful from him. And Sky has really improved their play to this set because of that service pressure. They're trying to push Police to their limits, trying to cut off their middle and their position 2 attack, and just leaving them with only one option.
Police are struggling to find their feet in this third set. Look at the range there. That's Police, of course, is trying to chase down quite a number of points there, but Sky looks really very comfortable, and they're really trying to control this game with that good set from Ivan to get Ashraf, and off the hands, of course. The blockers of Police are not able to stop him. 14 points for Sky and 6 for Police. What a range.
Ivan on the service. Good serve. Oh, and that is what I've just talked about. It's an ace serve from him, and that is the service pressure that is really pushing Police to their limits this set. and also giving Sky such a big point margin. Police will now call their second timeout, still sitting at 6 points, and since the first timeout that they called, they've been at 4 points. They've only made 4 points since then. They are really just trying to find solutions, and Brian is also out there on the bench. Of course, we know his time for training is quite limited, but I still think he could be a good asset for them because he's that one aggressive player. Despite any physical state that he could be in, he's going to get on there and just be aggressive. Oh, ball is kept alive, but it's an overpass and just sent back down on the Sky side.
Now, of course, police should be asking themselves why Igune is receiving, and is really receiving well. The libero is not on court, but Igune is receiving. And now the receiver attackers who are struggling to pass the ball should really be asking themselves what is not working.
You know, there are those moments in the game where people who don't usually play the receiving part can actually come on and pass better, because sometimes the pressure gets too much on the other people, on the other players. And I think Igune coming on, he's just really trying to get that pressure down for his team.
Of course, Kevin, they are struggling to pass as well for Sky. Now, free ball is going to come their way. Marvin to pick it, Ivan goes, and Brighton.
Yes, and this time Brighton just really to get that point. But look at the aggressiveness that Sky players are really trying to have on those off-system balls, especially Brighton and Kevin. We've seen how aggressive they are going, whether the ball is in system or off system. Just really continuing to push, and they're getting those points. Oh, another service error from Martin. I think he's really trying to go very hard on that service and just send it as a float.
That service error, of course, brings police to 9 points and Sky at 16.
Service,
well
tough pass.
Good set from Ivan to find Ashraf, who is quite not convinced with that swing he has had, but that is a good score for Team Sky, who have now hit the 17-point mark. So to the service goes Ashraf, and back in the front court comes, of course, Manut.
Service, Ashraf will have to take that service again.
The bench of police is housing talent. Of course, Brian, we all know what he can do when he's really in his good form, and of course other players as well. But of course, Eli is very, very fast to swing on that attempted block of Kevin, and off the hands he goes, and he is now going to the service line for Team Police, who have chased 7 points from the onset of this third set.
But you could see that swing from Eli. He could see the space even before he took that swing. Oh, good defense. Oh, net touch from Manut as he tries to just send that ball back down onto the side of Police. Sky calling their first timeout as they get into the very, very important part of the game.
So Sky returns from that breather, and of course, Coach Dennis, of course, there maybe had some talking points to really discuss with his players, and that has worked, I believe, in his favor. Of course, Eli unexpectedly goes and doesn't jump serve this time around, but he just floats, but that ball goes wide and it's off. So Sky, of course, continue to maintain their 7-point lead. Hassan goes for Opolot. Marvin with that pick. Ivan goes for Kevin. Swings off the hands. And that is a good score for Team Sky. Kevin, of course, there, as we mentioned, is one of the key players for this particular side, Sky. And of course, is very, very wise there in terms of execution. And just like that, he was able to find those long hands of Bulgaria. And that slight touch is able to just add the tally for Sky to now 19 points against 11 just for Police. Kevin, Manut, and Ivan are on the front court for Sky. And of course, Ouma continues really to have a bad day in office as a libero whose job really is to receive. And of course, a smart move, combination play from Sky. Ivan there to set up Kevin, and well executed. 20 Sky, 11 Police. And of course, the smiles you can really see from the Sky players there means that they're really enjoying this particular set and the control they have established. Of course, Police are going to bring back David in place of Bulgaria.
Oh, tough pick. Brighton is really just proving very, very tough in that service box. But what a block from Manut, shutting down Opolot John Paul on that attack. Really, really just trying to help his setter and bringing that ball down.
So the scoring party continues for Sky. Opolot retrieved.
This time he tries
Kevin
to go for the dump again.
goes for very, very smart play from, of course, Kevin there. And of course, a very good play from Ivan to really play that ball back from the block. And 22 points for Sky, 11 for Police. Not really a good show from Police this particular set. And good service, of course, from Brighton there. And Manut not giving room for the setter there to try to set that ball, even when he's aware that Ivan is in position to set that ball. And that's lack of court awareness from him really brings that point to go the way of Police.
Yes, but of course Sky just looking for 3 with that 10-point lead as well. Oh, this time Kevin coming back for that combination play and taking it even much better than the first time.
Yeah.
What an execution from him. Very quick and hard just into that ground on the side of Police. And I think him now even going onto that backcourt side gives Sky more chances to just execute and take this set away. Substitution.
Kevin gives room for Aaron Wanjala in that receiving position after just making that service error. Kevin is rested and maybe prepare him for set number 4, which Sky fully needs to win to collect maximum points, of course, today.
It's a block on Brighton, but Martin trying to go very sharp cross-court just misses slightly and doesn't quite catch any hands as well.
Isaac Igune is on the service line for Police.
Yes, and he's one of those good servers for the Police side. I think Police is still very much in this set and very much in this game as well. He'll go after the libero, but that's a good pass and quick swing through the middle from Manut. And the blockers are getting those touches, but because Manut is really going high on his swing with that high reach, it's very hard for them to just maybe get some monster blocks against him. But it is set point for Sky, and they're just looking to take away a second set for themselves and just be in a better place position to maybe take away 3 points here. And first set point saved there from Police this time. Like I mentioned, they are still very, very much in this game.
Yeah, and of course, you're sure to say that Sky, of course, even if Police makes constantly making points here, they are really in need of 1 point, and I'm very sure they will be able to get that point, even if we see and witness these errors from these attackers. Of course, Martin there with that kind of flip attack, which didn't even really go over the net. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Or
I think he left the ball a little behind.
Which particular person is trying to inspire him? Of course, there are quite a few guys who can do that. Not, of course, on our level there, but he tried to do it and it has costed his team a point. And now,
I think the ball was a little behind. You see, he seems to be going very quick and he's just getting shut down. And obviously, Sky is going to just call that second timeout for their side. Just looking for 1 point. And I mentioned this at the start of this game. Teams really, really struggle to get that 1 point despite playing so well all through. And I think it goes back to just being able to find that one person that can just break for the team and give them that much needed side out.
just in need of 1 point, Sky Volleyball Club are chasing a win in this particular third set. But look at that service from John Opolot going straight to Aaron, and of course now they have hit 18 just against 24 for Sky.
And then Sky Police has just made 4 points, 4 consecutive points, while Sky is still just sitting on set point.
Martin,
this time
nicely picked. Again, free ball. Ivan goes for Ashraf. The ball is still in play. Ivan goes to Martin. Tries to dump. The ball is still in play. Isaac Igune to pass it over. Ivan again to Ashraf. Ivan now goes to Martin, who swings, but Ezra is there. Brighton.
Oh, it's another error from Brighton as he tries to just send that ball over. Sky really just failing to close this set down. But credit to Police, really defending so well and remaining so calm in this moment.
So, of course, now the coach is forced to remove Ivan, who is the first setter for Sky, and brings on the younger setter to K to really try to find a way of ending this set. And John Opolot with the service. Here he comes. Goes to Aaron. Nicely picked. Ashraf. But the ball is still in play. Hassan. Big set to Eli. Swings to the line, and that's a score again for Police, who have hit, of course, the 20-point mark.
And those are 6 points, 6 consecutive points from Police. Like I mentioned, they're just really remaining so calm in this moment, and Sky is just being forced to error in their plays as they look for that 1 point. And we saw them struggling even in the first set, trying to get that point. The setter will go to Martin. This time Martin able to just close the set down after so many set points saved by Police. And sometimes this gives you a sign that we could see Police coming in very much harder in the next set, and maybe see ourselves even going for 5 sets. But Sky has really done wonderfully this set as well, just with that little bit of struggle towards the end. And you can see this time Police, despite losing the set, they really minimized their errors and completely brought them down to 6. But Sky taking this set away, but with 11 errors from their side, and of course 14 attacks coming in from how aggressive they just went in this set. But we are going into that 4th set, and we'll just wait. We'll have to wait and see. But I think Police could be much more fired up as we go into that set.
Police Volleyball Club, the first to draw the blood, of course, in set number 4. Sky leading 2-1. And the first block, of course, coming from David Say, combining that block to bring down that backward attack from Kevin. And through the block goes David Say between Ivan and Ashraf. And of course, starting this 4th set on a high is Police Volleyball Club, and they've already gotten 2 points added to their name. And of course, looking at the comment section, Nabulia Geraldine, you're still saying, now wow, I'm loving the Sky 3rd set. And now we are, of course, in the 4th set. We want to see how it goes. David Jowang, you're saying nice game. I'm watching from South Sudan. Thank you, David, for joining us. And of course, we appreciate Mwezi Pylon. What's wrong with Sky? Definitely, that 3rd set had so much to talk about for Sky. And of course, Isaac Ben Ochu, you're saying the game is not spicy like Alien game against Ndeji.
Anyway, Police really enjoying their start in this set with 3 points now. Ouma, of course, it's important to never lose confidence, because sometimes your opponent is really just being very, very difficult and tough, and Ouma is just really being confident in himself, because the services from Sky in that previous set were really, really very, very hard, and I think they were intended on just making it very difficult for Police to play their middles.
Of course, you talked about 5 sets, and I don't want really to sound like I'm a prophet, but the way things are starting with this set here, we may really be headed there, because Police is really starting on a high, and they're really taking this game to Sky Volleyball Club. 5 now, they are on the lead, and of course with just 1 point for Sky.
Yes, and this is how all the sets have really been moving. Both sides just taking big leads in each set that they have won. Service. Ivan going to Brighton. Block touch. Ball is kept alive. Ellie will send a free ball. It is picked.
Ivan sets up Kevin.
Oh, and Kevin just looking for that corner in 5, unable to just get a point. And this time he didn't swing as hard, but he's able to just get a very easy point on that one.
So the front court for Sky now has their favorite, of course, outside hitter in Kevin. It has Ashraf, it has Brighton. And that good and big swing from the middle from Ezra. He just goes and finds the libero there, Marvin, quite standing, and he's not able to play that ball back.
What a quick hit from Ezra. What a play. And maybe that is also one of the additions that Sky is having, that Police is having this set. Oh, good watch from Igune, just watching very closely. They say his man that he's supposed to block. He's just there waiting and fully committing on him, just shutting him down with that as he tries to send that dump over.
Of course, now if you're in the shoes of Coach Dennis for Sky, you do not want to see your team really trailing in this set, because you really need it to get this max points. And this, everything just has to come out here in this particular set if they really want to get something off this set here.
Police really just defending so well, trying to ensure that they do not have balls landing on their side. Despite sending over free balls, they really try to keep that defense on. But this time, Brighton just ripping through that block with a heavy swing.
Police is going really so hard on this set. You can see the court cover is really getting very interesting on the side of Police, because most of these balls are not touching the ground before being touched. And you can see Hassan sets up Ellie to the line off the hands of Brighton. Very good score and very good court awareness from Ellie there to get that last hand of Brighton. So Police are still maintaining that lead. Now it's 5 points, and Sky really need to do something real quick, not to really allow themselves to end up playing the decider. And of course, is maybe the goal that Police has. They really want to push this set and see that they end up in the 5th set, of course. And set number 5 is always the shortest, though it may really drag for long. And now, first ref Malay, of course, is quick to call the captains of both sides and maybe try to tell them one word or two, and maybe there is something he has seen as the first ref.
But he came here before he started the game. He was here before he started the game.
Police with that service. David say, good pick from Martin. Oh, down the line comes Kevin. Very beautiful hit from him. He's really just taking advantage of all those gaps that are there. Sky now just having a 4-point gap to close up. Brighton with that service. Polo John Paul able to try and just that hit. Oh, error from Kevin. That ball didn't actually go over. Just a small error from him as he tries to make that hit. There's no touch on that block.
Isaac Ben Ochu, you're saying you're chilling from Lira. And of course, we thank you so much for joining us online and catching the action as it unfolds. And of course, 10 points it is for Police as Sky are chasing that 6-point lead, which is really not something good for them because they need these maximum points and they have to really find a way of leveling the scores and maybe winning the set as well. Retrieved by Omar and a very good Hassan. Play from him. Yes. One of a kind. He has not done that from the onset of this particular game, but out of surprise he has done it and he has scored.
Yes, but good effort from both sides, really trying to keep that ball in play. We see Ivan is really off court for this set.
On your picture there, you can see notable faces for Police available today. Sharif is around, and so is Brian. We see Obote, all here to witness this game. This is a very, very much big game which people have been waiting for, and of course most of the fans are really here and witnessing this game as it really goes. And of course, for us, we're always happy and we're always here to relay these games wherever they do happen.
Can you warm up?
Hassan sets up Johnny, but is brought down by Manut and Tukey there in the block. Quite a tight one from Hassan there, and you can see John is trying to signal to him that increase the height. Good serve, Hassan. Again, he tries to play it over, but is retrieved. Kevin from the backward, picked by David. Again, Johnny. Tight again, Eli. Johnny. And that's a good pick from Marvin. Brighton sets up Martin. Good pick from Johnny. Very good play from both sides, of course. Defense-wise, Johnny there, very unfortunate that no one is able to support him with that touch he had on that ball. And that's a very good flip play from Martin. And that's a score for, of course, Team Sky, who are trying to get themselves back into the game. Timeout, of course, called in by Police, who are on the lead, by the way, in this fourth set. And talking points for them, they really need to push themselves to win this particular set so that they can set up set number 5. But if they fall short of that, Sky will be walking away with a clean victory and, of course, with the 3 points today. Kevin with the service. Eli, nicely picked. Good pick again from Marvin. Martin, shut down by Gune Isaac and Hassan Odong, the setter. I think the passes to Hassan are really making him struggle a bit to connect with his attackers. You can see that he's really trying to jump to stop those balls from crossing. But I think those are very, very important touches from the setter there for Police. Igune, he goes to Martin, nicely picked, Manut. Ball is played over, and the ref says the ball is still in play. Brighton, retrieved again. David Say goes to Johnny. Smartly played by Martin. Brighton. And is brought down by John Opolot. Again, that block from John, really trying to work so hard for Team Police there when really trying to block down this gentleman, Brighton, who is now going to be rested, of course. Shafiq is going to be introduced in this game as the other diagonal now to the setter to K. Brighton has really had quite a long game. Very good plays from him, of course, but those blocks from Johnny, especially when Brighton is coming from the backward line there, have really brought a lot of questions for the coach, who has decided to take off, of course, Brighton and bring on Shafiq. And Police, of course, are continuing to maintain their lead there. Now 6 points picked by Martin again. 2K. It swings, but it goes wide, and Police have now extended their lead to 7 points. Not a place where Kai wants to be right now. And for Police, they are really pushing so hard for themselves to try to win this set. Kevin, retrieved by Isaac Igune. Goni off the hands, and he is really having a party in terms of going against this block of 2K, the setter, and Manut there. And look at the margin now. It is again open. 15 points for Police, 7 points for Sky. And Igune continues to do the serving. He goes again towards the libero Marvin. Hassan plays it to the empty space, but again the ball is retrieved. Martin swings again, but that ball is off. That is attack error number 3. And of course, just like that, Captain Sam is going to be introduced back to the game since the climax of set number 2. We didn't see him play set number 3, and now he is here in set number 4 to try to maybe calm things down and try to push his team, Sky, of course, to try to catch up with the lead. And that net touch from a joint block by Ezra and John Opolot is able to just bring Sky to within 8 points, and they are chasing 8 points. Manut goes towards Uma. David Say from the backward line goes wide, and of course not quite a good one from him, and of course from a player of his potential. George William Charles, you're saying, but how good is Male's eyesight? Well, he is the final man, and he is the one who is above the ground. He is the one up there, so he is judging really quite well, based on the fact that he is the one making the calls. And John Opolot using that advantage of one's block there by a short blocker, of course the setter there for Sky, 2K, but he had a touch on that block, but it unfortunately goes off. Carter forces a net error from, of course, the blockers of Police, particularly Ezra. 17 points and 7 points, of course, on the chase for Sky. Interesting. Set number 4. David off the hands and retrieve. Ashraf sets up. Shafiq dumps. Smartly played by the libero there. Johnny brought down. Of course, very tight set from Hassan there to Johnny, and not quite a good one for him to squeeze through, but the blockers are able to read quick and bring him down. So 2K still on the service line. He comes again, goes towards Ouma. Nicely picked. Again Johnny off the hands of Kata, and as well a net touch called on the very particularly in Qatar there. Johnny has had quite a very good front court performance, and here he is going to the back court in service. We want to see how early his diagonal is going to perform when he's on front court as well. Shafiq, free ball. Eli picks it. Hassan sets up David Say, but he's still really having challenges with back sets there. The balls are really not making quite good leaps there for his attackers to get space and comfort to execute. Carter goes towards Omar. Good set, Eli. But the ball it goes really wide, and Police is starting to relax a bit, and Sky are now chasing 5 points. Hassan still tight, but David is quick to convert that ball very fast from the block set up by Kevin and of course Ashraf for Sky. As Police are nearing, of course, the 20-point mark. This is going to be set number 2 for Police in case they go ahead to win it. And of course, Sky, who already have 2, will be really looking to find a way of going ahead to maybe win set number 5. And that attack from Shafiq through the block of Igune and Eli adds up Sky's tally to 14 points, and they are still chasing 5. Ashraf looks for Eli, who is not quite fast to receive it, and that is going to be an attack error on Igune Isaac. So that's a miscued attack from Igune has forced Police to call their timeout at 19 points. And of course Sky chasing 4 points now from about 7. We might as well say that they have had quite a good display in terms of chasing the scores, but it's not yet done until it's really done. For Police, they are looking to hit that 25-point mark with, of course, the chase and pressure coming from this particular side in yellow and black, which is Sky Volleyball Club. So we return from that timeout, and Ashraf for Sky continues to do the serving and of course try to pile that pressure on the receivers of Police. He goes to Eli, nicely picked. And off the hands, the ball is still in play though. Kevin shut down by Igune and David Say, and you can see the reaction from the players of Police celebrating that wonderful block, combined block of course of Igune and David Say. And David is now headed for of course the service line, and front court goes the setter Hassan. Off the hands of Eli goes Shafiq with that big swing from position number 2. 16 points for Sky and 20 points for Police, who are eyeing to really find a way of winning this set number 4 and maybe set up number 5 for us. Of course, that is not quite a good pick from Omar and Eli. Again, swings off the hands of the libero there, Marvin, who is not able to keep the ball in play. 21 now. Police just within 4 points of setting us up for set number 5. Free ball. Now Hassan goes for Polo. Off the hands, but the ball is still in play, picked up by Kevin. Shafiq, free ball now. Again, Hassan is going to go and set up. Maybe David Say. And that is quite a very, very pickable ball. And I think maybe the libero thought Kevin was making that move. He could maybe try to play that ball. But very unfortunate for them, that ball goes to the ground. And slowly, police are really looking to win this set, because at this rate, the error margin for Sky is of course increasing, and the timeout is going to be called in by the Sky standing in coach for today, David, of course, Dennis Norobade. Looking at our comment section, of course, Emmanuel Ekarek, you're saying, I love the vibe. We thank you so much, of course, for your comment, and always appreciating each and everyone who is able to log in and watch this game. If you're not in position to make it, of course, to the grounds where the games are taking place, we appreciate the love you have for Sporters Volleyball Club media page, and of course the love you have for this sport, volleyball.
Very nice.
Third point for Team Police, interestingly, because they pushed themselves to the limit in this particular fourth set, and now they are going to have a point onto themselves with that service error, of course, from Eli. Set point, of course, is saved for now by Sky. Sky, of course, has come up short of collecting maximum points with this particular set. They have failed to win. And David saved from the back line with a big swing through the block of Katasam. And now we are going to get ourselves prepared, because set number 5 is going to come our way shortly. And of course, so many talking points for Sky there, because they had this game controlled in set number 3, and now set number 4 has really showed the urge to really collect points, the urge to win, the urge to play from this Police side, and that was a very good display from them, of course. And you can see everyone really trying to put in their best to try to see that they win this particular set, which has worked in their favor. And of course, we are level in terms of sets 2-2. Police one attack better than Sky, 5 more blocks better than Sky, and this really shows you that Police really deserve to really go ahead and win this particular set. And look at the error margin there. Police just reduced their error margins by just 2 again, and Sky, of course, continue to level that error margin. They are still maintaining at 10. But we are going to really see who comes out victorious, because just like most of the fans had wished it to be, a very interesting game it has been for us here at NSAMBYA grounds. And of course, the captains are tossing with the first ref, of course, together with his assistant for set number 5. But as we speak, both teams have a point to themselves. Let's come back.
Tell us that's why you retired. What do you mean? Ngale mbuhawa ayagala kwambuka kuyandi. Ngale mbuhawa ayagala kuyamba kumuje mukyuse wano engoye. Mukyuse engoye.
This is the last set, and of course it's set number 5. Police 2 sets, Sky 2 sets. This is where we get to know and of course witness who comes out victorious after 15 points. This is the shortest set. It can be really dragging, but of course we shall be here to see and witness how it will go. Police, of course, through Johnny, first to draw the blood in set number 5. Of course, like I mentioned earlier on, already both sides have a point to themselves, and the winner of this particular set will again get 1 more point, and it will be 2 points for them, and their opponent will walk away with just 1. And that net error from, of course, the police blockers, Ezra and Johnny Okolo, they are trying to go high to seal off, but Johnny falls and touches the net. So this is Martin with the service for Sky. Goes to Ellie, nicely picked, and that's good swing from Ezra off the hands of Ashraf. Very fast swing from Ezra there, of course, brings police to 2 points now. And you can see both players smiling at each other. I think at some point Ashraf was trying to get the attention of the ref. You can really see him calling it out, but everyone, including the fans here, had seen that that ball was really off his hands. And Ashraf, Shafiq, retrieved by Omar the libero. Johnny, this is Eli with a very good swing through the hands of Ashraf there, and Shafiq. 3-1, because police are in the lead. Martin, of course, in position 6 there, as of course you could see the reaction from the coach and other players on court. Expected him to do much better, to maybe try and retrieve that ball and keep it in play. Ivan to set up Kevin to the line. He goes and very hard he swings. And this is something that the police blockers have failed to really realize, that when Kevin is coming from position number 4, his attacks are all going to the line, and you can see him going straight there. And David's really very late to try to set up the block there for Kevin. Ashraf now with the service. Johnny nicely picked. Goes Eli and Ashraf. Very good pick from Ashraf and Kevin. The ball is still in play though. Ezra gives up a free ball to Sky. Ivan sets up Kevin again, and off the hands. Very good play from Sky there. That gentleman, Kevin, is really making a change in this lineup for Sky ever since his return. Johnny, good pick, and not quite a good quick swing from Ezra there as it goes wide. And for the first time in this set, Sky has taken the lead, 4 points to 3. Of course, those are errors from police, might come back and haunt them when we progress towards the end of this particular set. Johnny again, nicely picked. David Say, picked by Ivan. Ashraf, Shafiq, Ouma, the libero, picks for police, and again Eli. And that block is off. Of course, that's a point for police. Very good swing and very good court awareness by Ouma, the libero there. Keep that ball in play. And Shafiq tried to shut down Eli, but very unfortunate for him. That point goes to police. Ezra goes to Martin, Ivan, Shafiq, but Eli was quite off that target block, and he flies, so that the space between him and Igune was not enough for the joint block. Or there you can see Igune was late. Pick by Uma. Eli, smart play, but retrieved by Kevin. Ivan sets up Manut. The ball is still in play, of course, and free ball now goes Sky's way. Marvin, the libero, to retrieve. Here comes Kevin, and that powerful swing from Kevin. Of course, that ball was quite still in play. Of course, court awareness from the libero there. So Sky has opened the lead again, 2 points. So Shafiq has been substituted off, and back comes Sky's number one opposite, of course, Brighton. But police is quick to call for a timeout, as Brighton is supposed to be heading for that service there. Remember, in the first set and the third set, he had a very good time in the service there, with an S in the first set, and of course pacing in the third set to force that set to go their way. So Brighton has done his part, and he has been substituted again by Shafiq, as police were quick to side out from his service. David Say goes to Martin, and Kevin. Again, he comes off the hands, of course, the blockers. Johnny going the right direction, but the deflection of the block is not able to come back. And Sky still leading by 2 points, 7-5. Remember, this is a short set of just 15 points, but as we progress, it may go beyond that. Hassan sets up Eli again, and off the hands of Manut and Ivan. They are not able to stop him. So back on front court comes Johnny, who has had quite a good scoring percentage on front court there. Eli is going to be taken off by Herbert, who is coming to maybe serve and do the defense as well. So he will be defending with, of course, David Say from the backcourt line, and of course, we shall see how that plays out. And of course, Ouma, the libero, is also still on. And for Sky, Manut is on front court together with Ivan and Martin in 4. Smart play, of course, from Ivan. And we have hit the 8-point mark, and this is where we are going to see the changes in terms of sides happening. And of course, on the comment section, Emmanuel Ekarak, you're saying Police is utilizing all the attack. However, Kevin is setting a good pace for the teammates. Of course, we already mentioned that Kevin is one of the key additions that Sky has had in their lineup, especially when this particular second round of action began. He came back, and now things really look to be working for Sky, who have been struggling for points really in the first round. And him being a Grand 2 player, he's really doing a lot for this particular side of Sky. And as we change sides, of course, Ivan has been taken off by Coach Dennis, and he wants to set up a defense, of which he has introduced in Tata Sam. Good service, of course, for Manut. And Igune is fast for Ashraf, and of course fast for Kevin as well. They're not able to stop him. The game is still on. It's still tight. Not yet that moment when we get to judge who is going to win, but at the end of it all, there is going to be a winner in this game. Martin, good pick. Kevin from the backcourt, go through the hands of John or Polot, and Sky still maintaining that 2 points gap between them and Police, of course. That huge hit from the middle by Igune, by Ezra, gets of course the head of Martin there as he's trying to help his middle player Ashraf, and that ball goes off play, and it's a score for Team Police. And off the hands of Johnny goes Martin. Sky now have hit the 10-point mark, and Police still failing to level up scores in terms of the gap. That's Sky open of just 2 points. Again, David Say, very good swing from him, and of course Martin from position 6 is not able to play it back. 9 for Police, 10 for Sky. And of course, that is going to be a technical timeout for both teams to give themselves time to talk, because the balls being used for action here have all gotten out of sight, as one has gone to the other end of the courts. But of course, there always has to be a ball, okay? And we are going to be coming back shortly when, of course, action returns. But Sky still leading just with 1 point now as we progress towards the end of this particular set, which is short, and it's just 15 points. The first, of course, at 15 will be victorious. John Opolot serving for Team Police. He goes for Martin. Nicely picked. Ivan back. Sharif. Good swing from him, of course. The 2 points lead continues. Sky just looking for those 4 points to seal the victory and walk away with the 2 points after sharing spoils, of course, in the set scores. Good service from Ashraf. Free ball now, but David says he's going to go for the high dump. Shafiq. Free ball now taken over by Kevin. This is Hassan setting up Ezra and finds Ivan flat-footed. He's not able to, of course, keep the ball in play. Omua Carlos, you're saying you're watching live from Agago District. Thank you very much, Carlos, for tuning in and, of course, following the game. And, of course, encourage your friends and, of course, your circles in Agago District. Always tune in and catch this action as it unfolds. Free ball goes to Sky's way. Ivan sets up Kevin again with that swing, and Ezra not able to keep it in play. We are just nearing the climax of this set, and this is where the adrenaline kicks in and you see most of the reactions from both sides coming to play. Hassan sets up Eli. Shut down. Big block from that man, the tower for Sky in the middle. Manut. Nicely watched, nicely joined. And that is a good block from Manut, of course. That gentleman there for Sky, who have now opened their lead to 3 points, and they are just in need of 2 to win. And again, a good block from Manut. 2 for him in just a space of 2 points. Nicely watched again. Look at him do that joining, and very good block. And now Sky have set us up for match points as Police 10, and substitution for Police already took place. Sharif, the other setter, has been introduced to replace Hassan Odong, and a timeout for Police, of course, is going to be called as Sky are searching for that 1 point and, of course, walk away with the 2 points at the end of it all. Shafiq with the service, and Sharif sets up Igune, and that powerful swing from him just saves the first match point. And David Say is going to go to the service line with the Police just chasing those 3 points to level up. But of course for Sky, they're just eyeing at just securing that last point and winning this particular game. David Say goes to Martin. Ivan, Kevin, off the hands, and that has sealed the victory for Sky, who are walking away with 2 points. And of course for Police, they have given us a show. They have fought their way back into this game, but unfortunately for them, they fell short and they just walk away with 1 point. Sky today has been determined to get the maximum points, but they didn't happen to really get them. But of course they were full house, and so is Police. Of course you have not seen some of the players for Police featuring Brian, despite being dressed, has not really entered or stepped on court. Sharif has just come in to finish this fifth set. Obote also there for Police, not really getting chance to play. But of course for them there should be talking points after really coming so strong in the fourth set and just those small errors in this last set have costed them the victory. But nonetheless, they go home with 1 point, and for Sky, that is a good boost for them. But of course, we want to really highlight the fact that this gentleman, Kevin, has been a very, very big addition to Sky, and that has really played out here with all the points he has scored for his team and all the action from the backcourt for him. That has been really good for Sky, and you can see them smile, not like last weekend when they really had a game they lost 2 weeks ago. And of course, for us here at the Media Center, of course, Supporters Volleyball Club, I want to really appreciate each and everyone that has been able to join us online, and those who have been able to, of course, comment. Messi, Alan Abak, of course, Geraldine, I hope you're happy because Sky has come out victorious. Emmanuel Ekarat, Omua Carlos, Sempira, Joseph Mary, you're saying thank you for the broadcast, and we of course say thank you to you too for joining us and watching the game. But of course, don't forget, action returns tomorrow in the Uganda Volleyball Federation. We are coming to you live. It will be in Lugogo, the MTN Arena. Super Sunday, super classic action it will be. We shall kick off the day, of course, with the women. UCU Lady Doves will be up against UPDF. And of course, following that game will be a clash between Sporters, the women. They will be taking on KCCA. That is a game you should not miss. And of course, after that, there will be a big one between UCU and, of course, KCCA, the men. That will be a game not to miss. And before we go for the final showdown, there will be a Serie B action, an anticipated fixture between St. Charles Ntinda. They will be up against, of course, the Sporters Tigers in men's action. That game will be at 4, and then of course at 6 the final game will be between KAVC and of course Nemo Stars. Don't miss the action. We shall be relaying, of course, the broadcast will be there and we shall all be on ground. Thank you very much everyone for joining us. From us, the media crew here at the Sporters Volleyball Club media page, we say thank you and wish you the best. Let's meet tomorrow.
Thank you.